Hello, I'm Neil. Welcome to Grandpa's Workshop. Firstly, a big thank you to all my subscribers. And this week I'm making a tab stand for my grandson. He liked the phone holder I made for my wife and decided he wanted one to put his 10-inch tab on. So I asked him what kind of animal he wanted me to make, and he said a yellow crocodile. So that's what I've done. I've transferred the design to this piece of scrap wood using carbon paper, and what I'm going to do is route out some of the detail, and then I'm going to cut out the shape on the scroll saw. Before I cut it out on the scroll saw, I'm just going to cut the excess off on the miter saw. I'm going to cut it out now on the scroll saw, and I've got a spiral blade fitted. Now I've got it cut out, I've used the carbon paper again to transfer some lines to the opposite side, so I can route those out now. But to make it easier, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this back inside its cut out to give the router a bit more to rest on, to stop it tipping over. Now I've routed the detail on both sides, I'm just going to paint these lines in black. Right, I'm going to let that dry and then I can start sanding. What I've done is glued two pieces of wood together to make the base. Now yesterday I set up the camera, got everything ready for the glue up, but forgot to turn the camera on and record it. Perfect. Now the glue's dry, I'm going to square it all up on the table saw and cut it all nice and flush. Right, I've marked out some curves for the base. I'm going to route a channel out now for the tab to sit in. I've screwed a scrap fence to the waist side of my line, and I'm going to run the router along to create a groove. Right, made a mistake there and came away from the fence, but because I'm going to be moving this fence forward to make this wider, I'm hoping I can get away with this mistake. Right, I've moved this fence forward by 1/2 inch so I can widen this groove. It may seem a little bit wide for a 10-inch tab, but my grandson keeps it in its case, so I've got to accommodate the width of the case as well. What I'll do now is put a straight bit in and just remove this waste material from down the middle. Now I'm going to cut some curves on the base. Now I'll put it on the drill press and drill 2 pilot holes so I can screw the crocodile in place from underneath. Now to start sanding. I'm just going to route out a line, a curvy line, and then I'm going to paint this portion grey, and then I'm going to paint in the whites of his eyes. Right, I don't want to completely paint this and cover the wood up. So what I'm going to do is try something different. I'm going to try using food colouring to dye the wood. So, the yellow food colouring on this piece of pine has worked really well. But that were an unused piece of pine, it was just a scrap offcut that I used. This wood was reclaimed pine, and the colours aren't as vibrant as what I wanted, but it doesn't look too bad for grass and water. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to glue and screw the crocodile in place. Then I'm going to give it 3 coats of this interior varnish, which is a satin finish, and this is a water based varnish. And this is the completed tab stand. It's had 4 coats of varnish altogether. The tab will fit nicely in both orientations for whatever you're doing at the time. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks for watching.